How's it going, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of the Track Hack Podcast. If you were on YouTube and just saw that we went live for 4 minutes and then ended the stream, then pretend like you didn't see that. Me and Silas are still figuring out how to do live streaming, and we had some issues and had to end the stream. So this is our second attempt, and nobody probably would have known if I didn't say anything about it, but I'm just trying to be open and honest with my listeners. Silas, sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good. All good.
All right. Well, I'm really excited about today because we have a lot to talk about. One of the things is going to be United States Track and Field Championships, as well as talking about some shoe reviews that we didn't get to go to last week because we ran out of time. And then we're going to be talking about some political stuff, some political news, things of that nature. We're not turning into a political channel, it just has to do with running. And then we're going to talk about a brand new exciting supplement that I took in training and wanted to give my review on. So excited about that one. Can't wait to get back to Silas about how that went. And then we are going to talk about what else? Oh yeah, and then we'll just kind of do an outro, do some Q&As, and that's about it. Silas, are you excited for today?
Oh, absolutely I am. I've been looking forward to this all week. I've been talking about it to people you can ask, but yeah, I'm ready.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good one. One of the things that I'm looking forward to is talking about how our training has been going. How has your block been going this week, training for college?
Okay, so I've gotten up to, well, I had a down week last week and then I was slightly up this week again, so I'm back up to 52 miles from 54 or 55 being the highest I've done so far. And this week was the first week that I had a quality long run. So shorter in distance, only 11 miles, I think, for my long run, but went through 6:05 pace for the fifth mile. So I started at
Mm.
7:30 and worked down to about 6:05 by mile five. Went to 5.5 at about 6 minute pace and then cooled down. That was like the highlight of the week. The rest of the week was just easy running in hills, stuff like that. So pretty light leading into the run. It's been great. It was my favorite week of the build
Mm-hmm.
so far.
Really?
Yes, it was. Even
Heck
though
yeah,
there were some
bro.
minor hiccups
I
in travel, it was great.
Oh yeah, well, that's fair. I just had a 80-mile week for the first time, which I haven't
Hmm.
done ever. Actually, you would think in all of my time of doing like, high mileage that I
Hmm.
would have had an 80-mile week before, but this was my first one, and I was really nervous about it because I had to have a travel day at the same time. But I got it figured out. Kind of front loaded my mileage a little bit and had a travel day on Thursday, so I had to skip that day. I went on a little trail hike, which I kind of counted as cross training, but had an 80-mile week. And I gotta be honest, Silas, I'm not sure how I feel about my marathon training up to this point. I've now had 7 weeks of base building, and I'm gonna be very vulnerable, very honest here. I'm kind of the person that always thinks I know what I'm doing. I don't need any help, but I might need some help from you, Silas. I feel burnout um in my training. I'm like dreading the runs.
Hmm.
Um I know I'm working a lot, and I had a 5 show weekend, and like I ran 20 miles this morning and then had to do 2 shows of grease, and that was just
Yeah.
extremely hard on my body. Like, God bless my broken little body. Like, I'm not feeling great at the moment, but I'm feeling burnout. And I went to Silas a couple hours ago and I was like, do you think I should start adding a rest day into my training?
And you know what I said?
What?
Absolutely. I am the
Sure.
advocate. I love rest days once a week. It definitely
Mm,
helps with the burnout because the times that I've ran 7 days a week, I feel like it helps, but mentally I'm just shot. Taking a day off, whatever
mm.
is best for you is always something that I'm gonna be in support of.
Well, and this might shock you. Um, I actually bought a training plan.
Really?
Yeah,
This
I
is
bought
new
a training
information
plan.
to
I
me. I
spent
can't believe
money.
this.
Yeah, I'm dropping it to you now.
Okay.
I did. I bought a training plan. Um, I it's a 12-week training plan. I'm 13 weeks out from the DC marathon. And, I'm going to be honest, I've been kind of just like basing my training on like what I think a marathon workout looks like. Just like I just looked online at a basic one. I plugged it into like an AI software and labeled it and was like, okay, just increase the miles here and like here's the workouts I want on Tuesday. And like I think that method worked for me when it came to the half marathon. Like I ran a 126, but I feel like marathon training is so much more sensitive, fickle. This build
Hmm.
is also almost twice as long
Yes.
as my build for the half. Like in the half, I kind of like was like, okay, I'm running a half and had like 9 weeks to get in shape for it. Um,
Which is
but
not a
yeah,
long time.
no, not a long time. I got myself in 126 shape. And so in my head, I was like, okay, I'm giving myself like 18 weeks to get in shape for the oh, sorry about that echo. Gave myself like
18
20
weeks.
weeks to get
Yeah.
ready for the DC marathon. Yeah.
Hmm.
And then now here I am sitting 13 weeks out and I just was going through every workout, feeling tired, feeling like there's no pop in my legs, feeling, burnout, dreading the run. The fun's been taken out of running and I was like I need to change something and like I was really missing my track sessions. I was missing
Hmm.
multiple workouts a week. I just felt like everything was zone two,
Yeah.
like almost all the time. I had maybe one workout a week, and even that workout wasn't even crazy, like a 5 by mile. And like I didn't even feel like I was getting the training stimulus. And
Yeah.
so I bought a training plan from David and Megan Roche.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, you know it's
I
going to be good then.
and it is, and obviously like to respect their copyright, I'm not gonna like dive too
Yes.
deep into what the training
Yes.
plan is. Like now it's gonna be a little secretive. If you wanna, keep up with me on Strava, I guess you can find it out that way and chart it out. But that's a lot of work to do for the just $5 that I paid for the training plan.
Yeah.
Which to me just seems like a steal. But yeah, obviously I'm a big listener of their Some Work All Play podcast,
Hmm.
and they're probably our biggest inspiration to do this podcast. If you listen to this podcast and the Some Work All Play podcast, you'll see a lot of similarities, and we have a lot of the same things because I really subscribe to what David Roach teaches. But I subscribe to their Patreon, and I got their 12-week advanced marathon plan, and I'm really excited for it. But every Monday is a rest day.
Hmm. You're on the.
And
Go ahead.
yeah, I'm like, oh man, I really didn't like that because I was like, oh, a rest day? Are you serious? But it made sense because I watched the Hans Troyer documentary. The Boston American record holder for the women, Jess McCain, I think is her name. She took a rest day every Monday too. So she was
Hmm.
following this plan. So I'm like, okay, well, this like level of training, I know obviously Hans Troyer was training for 100 miles, but I'm
Hmm.
like, this level of training can put out a 2:33 marathon or 2:20 something, I think it was for an American record at Boston and like multiple female athletes that David coaches because he coaches a lot of high level female athletes as
Yes.
well as these ultra marathoners that he coaches. Like they also like I know Hans Troyer takes a rest day every other Monday and he's training for 100 miles and like that
Hmm.
was something that he changed in his training. And I looked and I'm still going to hit like 80 miles next week following the plan
Yeah.
because I'm gonna do like a little trial week where I try out the first week and then I'll actually hit the first week 12 weeks out.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna hit like in the upper 80s. It's still high
Hmm.
mileage for me
Yeah.
because it's kind of like it kind of gives you an option to go. okay, this is the least you can do today, and this is the most you can do today. If you have a strong base, do the most. If you're like really just getting into it, try the least. It's still an advanced plan, but like I'm still gonna hit high mileage. It's a lot of doubles, which
Yeah,
I thought to myself during trying my marathon training. I was like, why am I not doing doubles? Like I
yeah,
thought the whole thing was you get to the marathon and like every day is a double, like
yep.
almost,
Hmm. Yeah, and a lot of things.
and that just like yeah. Go ahead.
Speaking to the burnout thing, doubles, it changes the game. I mean, because you only have to push through, half of your run or a little over half if you're a 70-30 split person or whatever, you would do. But doubles definitely help a lot. And what you'd gain from having a whole day off, I'd say, is worth it mentally and physically a lot more than what you would lose by adding a couple miles a day or 5 miles a day or whatever it is if you're doing that much. Or not
Yeah,
maybe
I mean,
three.
just the thought of me having an off day tomorrow is like so nice. And then like
Yeah.
I'm excited to be doing these doubles cuz like I was doing doubles in high school
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
for the 5K. Like I
Yeah.
was doubling then for my 75-mile weeks. Almost like I was doubling like 3 times a week. And
Yeah.
so I was like I feel like that's been missing from my training for the marathon and even the half marathon. I was like, where are the doubles? Like but like I I'm not it feels nice to be validated and be like I'm not crazy. I should have days where I double.
Hmm.
Like it's
100%.
just like I'm training myself and like rattling off things with like chat gpt, and it's like of course chat gpt is not going to be a good coach. Like it's just a
Yeah.
software and I'm putting in
Hmm.
stuff, and it's like it's not going to give me good running advice. Like it's
No.
not going to say hey you should double in this calendar that you input. But yeah, just another reason why ai freaking sucks. I don't know why I rely it on it sometimes. It's freaking terrible. But
Amen.
yeah, so I'm really excited to get. I'll report back on how my first week goes. In true David Roach style, there's some uphill treadmill, um, which a
Yes.
lot of athletes do nowadays.
I do it.
So I'm excited to do some uphill treadmill doubles,
Yep.
some hill strides, stuff like that. I know there's one day in the plan where there's like 16 400s, and I'm like, that sounds fun.
Yep.
Like, sure, why not? Instead of like my plan before that was generic was like 2 by 3 by 2, like
Yeah.
three, like this week I was gonna do 3 by 3 at marathon pace.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like that's fine, but that's more like a long run workout than like
Yeah.
a workout
No
workout,
doubt.
you know? So I'm excited for the marathon build again. It's exactly what I needed. I already have been doing the nutrition training from David Roach, so I think it's only right that like I'm doing hyper light, like high carb training. I'm taking in 100 grams of carbs an hour,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's only right that now I'm just gonna go ahead and dive
Yeah.
all in
Go all
and
in.
be
Yep.
just like fully virtually coached by him too. And like I can ask questions to him on Patreon if I need to, if I have any
Yep.
questions, which is like super cool to have. Just like obviously I'm not paying him enough to have like a personal coach, but like if I have questions, the fact that I can ask just for like $5 a month
Hmm.
is like worth it to me.
Yeah. It's 100% worth it. There's no doubt in my
Anyway,
mind.
so
I'm shocked that it's that
yeah,
cheap
I'm shocked it's
because,
that cheap. And this isn't the only plan. Like there's 100-mile plans, there's 200-mile plans, there's couch to 5K plans. Like there's all this
yep.
stuff, and it's like I'm like, wow, like this is a huge deal that I like just got a full training plan that like has been proven to turn people into sub 230 runners, and like for men it's produced sub 220 times, and like
Yep.
Hans Troyer's in like 210 shape if he ran a marathon.
Yeah.
These are the kind of athletes that are using this plan. This is the kind of structure that it uses, and like I need some kind of different training stimulus.
Yep.
I'm over the low threshold. I'm still doing high mileage, but like the fact that I don't have to go out and do like every day be like a 10-mile zone 2 run is
Yep.
like amazing to me.
100%.
But still doing gels. Actually behind me, Hyperlight took it today. Um, 100 grams of carbs and caffeine. It got me out of bed this morning. I woke up, I was like, okay, I got to do 20 miles before noon. And I'm not a morning person, and having the caffeine with the carbs was great. And then we'll talk about the second supplement that I took at the end of the podcast. You have to watch the whole thing to know
Mm-hmm.
about the second supplement that I took.
Yep.
But our good friend Evan Allen, I've put him on carbs, and he's starting to rely on it heavy to the point where I think he's now feeling it in training when he is carb deficient. And like today, he had a day where he felt like he needed more
Yes.
carbs,
Yeah, he talks
and
about it on his
and
Strava. I saw that.
he would never feel that before.
Mm-mm,
You
never.
know, if for listeners that don't know, my high school training partner and I are both running the DC Marathon, and I talked to him and I said, "Okay, what are you going to do for carbs?" And he was like, "I don't do carbs." And I was like, "Dude, you're literally the most talented runner I've ever met in my life." I told him, I
Mm-hmm.
said, if you took in carbs, not even high carb, which I'm trying to get him to do, but
Yeah.
even if you just took in like the standard 50 grams an hour,
Yep.
like I think he could qualify for the freaking Olympic trials.
Yeah, I mean, this is a
Like, cuz he's been under
1425K
fueling.
guy. Like he's
Yeah.
he's elite. Like he's a great runner.
Yeah, he's an elite Division 1 runner, and the fact that he's gone this far without doing carbs and training is mind-boggling to me. He's the runner that is in the 1% that would have like done absolutely crazy things in the running world like 10 years ago, because, 10, 20 years ago it was about how, like, who are the genetic freaks that can run far without taking in a crazy amount of carbs.
Mm-hmm.
But now we know that carbs are actually beneficial, and we have the technology to get high carb to runners. And so, he has to catch up and get on carbs, because I
Yeah.
mean, everybody is better getting on high carb. And so it's just a matter of, it didn't take much convincing, because I went, Evan, I'm going to buy you 20 gels, and like, I'm gonna send it to you. Tell me what you like, and then we'll figure it out from there. And
Yeah.
he likes them, and he can feel the difference. He literally told me the first time he did it, he was like, "Yeah, I feel that I have more pop."
Yeah.
And today he had his long run. He was like, "Yeah, I didn't take enough. I felt it."
Yep. He wanted to take him
So
earlier. Yeah, because I
he
think he
wanted to
hit
take
him
him
at the five
earlier.
mile mark, and he was like,
He
I
took
want
him
to
at
do more.
5.
Yeah.
I told him to take it at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, I need to relate to him because I'm kind of his nutrition coach. I need to tell him to take a gel before he starts.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's the happy medium. I don't think he needs to take it at 2. I think he needs to take it at 0.
Yeah.
Um, because people never think about the gel before being a part of the carb equation when
Mm-hmm.
you run, but like that is a part of your carbs per hour is the gel you
Yeah.
take right before.
Yeah. 100%.
Usually a caffeinated or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, this week it was a good 80-mile week, but I'm gonna be honest, like I felt burnout, I felt injured. I had mile repeats on the treadmill. Like it was whatever, like it was fun. It was good. I'll talk about why. Lots of treadmill this week for me. The treadmill's not a bad thing. It's a very useful tool and a way to get load off of the joints.
Yep.
But it gets a little boring after a while. I did 20 on the treadmill today, and
Yeah.
that
I mean,
was
that's freak of nature stuff. I don't know how you do it. It's it's completely unreasonable to me to even do
I
that.
I put on a Hans Troyer video. I put on a Truett Haynes video.
Yep.
I put on a the Woods Run
Adam, yeah, the
video.
Woods run. Adam and
Uh,
Miko Wood.
yep, yep. So put on that. I just let it. Max Jolliffe put on
Yep.
a video from him, a BPN video. Just kind of started letting them run, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
And then suddenly you're done.
But you know what? Yep, exactly. And then I was 2.5 hours into the run, and I was done. Okay, we're 20 minutes in, Silas. You get me off track. Frick you. Um, Anyways, no,
Sorry.
I know I go off on tangents, but it's fine. Right before we get into talking about USATF, which is what we're going to be talking about next, quick promo for HYK Hydration. HYK Energy, carbs are important, but so is sodium and electrolytes. So make sure to add HYK into your supplement batch. It is a great electrolyte mix. It has 400 milligrams of sodium, 150 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, made from pink Himalayan salt. That is the regular electrolyte mix. For the Summit Hydration Mix, it has 1,000 milligrams of sodium and 200 milligrams of natural caffeine. Go to HYK Energy, get you some salt. If you're cramping, if you're feeling low energy, it is probably a salt problem and you need to rectify that. Go to HYK Energy. They have good deals. Use code Gideon10 at checkout for 10% off of your order, and you'll like it. I'm not worried about it. The strawberry lemonade is great. It's my favorite. The Summit is also great, but be careful with taking that. It is caffeine. So you can only take it once per run per day. But good stuff. Awesome. So that's HYK. And Silas, we were blessed with Josh Kerr's mile world record last week. And you said, what are we going to talk about this week? And I said, Silas, this week is United States Track and Field Championships. We're going to have so much to talk about.
Yep.
And so we've been truly blessed for our first two episodes to be able to talk about two amazing events. I'm not sure how we're going to follow up these two episodes. I'm like, oh gosh, what happens next week? We're going to have to be scrounging and trying to find it. We're going to have to talk about science. It's going to be more about me, but let's start out with the 10K. Grant Fisher getting upset by Woody Kincaid. Did you watch that?
I was traveling, so I was looking at the lap by lap results, and the whole time I'm seeing,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's Grant Fisher, Kincaid, and Bosley. I'm thinking, okay, Grant
Mm-hmm.
Fisher is going to break away from this. It's Grant Fisher in a
Surely.
10K.
Yeah.
I mean, surely he's going to be able to do this. So watching this and thinking, oh goodness, he didn't. It was shocking.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could have watched it.
But Silas, were you a fan of track when Woody Kincaid was kind of at his peak racing with Bowerman? Do you remember that era?
I feel like I remember the very end of it. Like
Okay,
you would have a lot
sure.
more perspective on that than me. I'm a
Well, the thing
little
is,
young for that.
he was a teammate of Grant Fisher's. They were
Mm-hmm.
over at Bowerman at Nike, and I mean Woody Kincaid, that boy can run a 10K. Now, granted,
Yes.
he is not going to be the fastest guy. He does have 28 in him.
Yeah.
Maybe a 27, I forgot, but
I think
I mean, he's
27
still
high.
fast. Yeah, I think he's yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's a very fast 10K runner. Still has it in him. I think he's going to be a contender to make the Olympic team still. I think he's got one more year in him for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Still showing Grant Fisher who is boss, which is crazy. A lot of people thought that was an upset. I guess it was Grant Fisher not having the greatest year, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but hey, good upset in that one. More of a tactical race, but not as tactical as the women's 10K, which was ran at a opening 6:40 mile pace. Silas, we could have been leading the pack of the women's 10K.
Yes. 100%. And with no real struggle. That's the
Yeah,
issue here. 640
yeah.
pace. I know some people were asking for this, saying, slow it down. I want to see the tacticians win, but 640 pace? Do we want to slow it down
It
that
gets to
much?
a point. It
Yeah.
gets to a point. It
Yeah,
gets to a
it's
point where it's just too much. Women's 10K, I'm going to be honest, because of that, I don't really respect that event at the moment. I'm like, okay, we were running 640
yeah.
pace. I'm not going to give you that. But,
Somebody's
the,
got to take
the,
it out.
yeah, the 30, 20 from the mid, that felt tactical. But I mean, that's still
Yes.
fast.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so past the 10K, big news for the Woodhalls. Hunter Woodhall ran in the prelims of the 400. That's his main event in the Paralympics with a starting block that allowed him to. He said that it gave him an
Better
advantage of his
balance.
starting position, yeah, better balance out because of his um, amputated legs and he can't get out of the blocks as fast as he could if he had not amputated legs. So he used the block to help him. He put it on his right hand so he could have better position out of the blocks. That was totally fine in the prelims, but then
Hmm.
at the last minute, the Paralympics said that he would get a DQ if he used it in his final because he made the 400-meter final. He took a stand against the Paralympics confusing stance because there is no rule that says that you can't use that block.
Mm-hmm.
There is no set rule. They just told him before, and he was like, well, that's not in your rules. So he ran the 400, won it, but then he knew he was going to get DQ'd, and he was. He was
Mm-hmm.
disqualified from the 400
Yep.
meter. There was a lot of uproar from that.
Yep. It was, and correct me if I'm wrong. He wasn't the only person racing that day that was using this. I mean, I believe that there, or at least at this season, there had been other people who had done this and hadn't faced any
No, there
repercussion
had
for it.
not in the final. Yeah, not in the final, but yeah, this is not a new thing to be
Yeah.
using the arm block.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he came back, won the 100 meter.
Yeah.
So I mean,
He
he
made his
still got
point,
a gold
that's for
medal
sure.
from it. Yeah, he made his point, and hopefully the Paralympics makes that right because
Yeah.
you just put it in the rules or don't. Like, don't make it some weird,
Yeah.
crazy stance.
Yeah. Exactly.
Um, but yeah, probably the most interesting thing to watch, in my opinion, the 100 meter. It
Mm-hmm.
was still packed full of stars. You know, you kind of feel like the distance events, we were missing some of our stars. In the
Yeah.
sprints, the stars were still out. We had Kenny Benedek, Christian Coleman, Noah Lyles, all made it to the final. So it was cool to see that matchup.
Yep.
Noah Lyles posted a 9-7 win legal to win the title
Mm-hmm.
for the 100 meter, proving he is
Yep.
still the fastest man on the planet. He ran a world lead.
Yep. He did. That surprised me. Daisy actually is how I found that out. She was like, Noah
Really?
Lyles just ran the world lead in the 100, and I'm not gonna say I was surprised, but I was a little surprised, just a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. 9-7. I was like, wow. And
Yeah.
he said, and this is Noah Lyles, so we know he's a little bit of a showman. But
Yep.
Noah Lyles said that he felt like he was hand timed at 9-6 and felt like he could have done better.
This is the same guy who walks around and says
So
world champion of what, and just does anything for the spotlight. Brings out Pokemon cards. He's entertaining, that's for sure.
yeah, he's entertaining. Shakira Richardson took her crown back, won the 100 meters. Looked good there too. Noah
Hmm.
Lyles in the 200, though, not as impressive. Pulling up and
Mm-mm.
running a 50-second 200. Came out with a tweet after he blew up in the 200 and said that he had a cramp, that he's
Yep.
not injured. He just felt the cramp coming. This isn't a year where there's a world championship, so he felt like there wasn't any need to try to run through a cramp and
Yep.
injure himself. Not a huge fan of that. I feel like, okay, there's no world championship, so why not fight through the adversity that you're feeling in your body?
Hmm.
But
I mean, he in the end, it's still a final. It's a 200-meter final.
right.
Still a huge deal. If you win this race, it's big. So why you're pulling up for something that he clearly is acting like he could have ran through just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. It's
Yeah, and then still jogging it out and running a 50
hmm
second 200,
yeah,
little embarrassing.
yeah, a
Yeah,
little bit.
I feel like he gained a lot of aura from the 100, kind of lost it all in the two.
Yep.
Tara Davis Woodhull, third in her first year of even trying the 100 meter hurdles. Crazy that she just decided to pick up this event and she's already third in the United States, putting herself in contention to be a contender to make the Olympic team in a different event than her best event, which is the long
Yeah.
jump.
Hmm.
Pretty cool story there. More controversy for the Woodhulls. She won the long jump and then um, it was ruled a foul. Her last jump was ruled a foul after she was given the win and she was dropped back to third.
They just had a little bit of a rough day, didn't they? That's just two things back to back. Man.
Yep. Also, the DQ from Chris Bailey in the 400 meters. Chris Bailey won off of a DQ because Justin
Hmm.
Robinson had a
Yep.
lane violation. I went back and looked. It was a lane violation. He
Yeah.
took 5 steps outside of the lane. I
Mm.
just feel like, and same with this is the same situation with Tara Davis Woodhull. I'm like, I wish things were ruled a foul when they happened.
Yeah,
So
and
this person wasn't given a win.
yeah,
Like Instagram post and everything, like both of these runners had a win given to them and then a medal taken away
yeah,
because of something after. Both committed the foul. Like both is a fair ruling from USATF. I just wish it happened in a more timely manner.
yeah. I mean, 100%, because then you don't have any of this controversy. Nobody is going to be complaining if you make the call right then. I mean, it's would seem clear cut, but apparently it's not.
No. All right. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. The 1500 meter. Very exciting event. Shockingly, Simeon Birnbaum blows up in was it the first?
It's the
Was it the
first
first
round.
race? Yeah, the
Yeah.
first. Yeah, the first round.
Uh-huh.
So one of the favorites to win it all,
Yep.
NCAA champion, blows up, doesn't even get out of the first round. What happened, Silas?
Well, he was in it with 300 to go, am I right? I mean, his closing 300 just wasn't there. I don't know if he cramped. He ran 346 and his NCAA record's 332 if I remember correctly. So, and I understand that
Oh wow.
1500s in the first round are tactical and all that, but his kick just couldn't hold up against everybody else's. It wasn't even really close. So I don't know what's going on with him. I think maybe following the Josh Kerr world record in the Diamond League, he was in that race and he dropped out of that race too, didn't he? He might be a little low
Yeah,
on
he
his
did. Yeah,
confidence right now. I'm
he
not,
dropped after 12.
which is not uncommon for Birnbaum. I mean, he dropped from the 5K in NCAAs. He dropped in Big Ten championships. He dropped from the 5K. We've seen it from him before, but in these big races, it's a little more surprising for him for sure.
Yeah, not a great look for Birnbaum there, blowing up like that. But still, a lot of guys, college guys, a lot of them in the final. Average
Hmm.
age of the 1500 meter final was 24 years old, and there
Yep.
was a 31-year-old in there.
Hmm. Yep. He, I mean, it's just so
Crazy
young.
finish. Yeah, very young, and a would you call it a tactical race?
Oh, 100%. I mean,
Yeah,
350s for the top nine. That's all in
yeah,
the 350 point range. It's definitely
yeah.
tactical. They could have that's not sub
Top
four
nine,
pace.
yeah, top nine, all within a second of each other.
Hmm.
And Nathan Green coming away
Yep.
with the win. A sneaky best year in the 1500 for the United States. The indoor and outdoor
Yep.
1500 meter sweep for the men.
I was not aware of
So
that
pretty good.
until I read that, and I was like, wow, that's surprising from him because there's a lot of names that
Hmm.
you would think of before Nathan Green, but good for him.
Any runners in the final that you wish did made it not tactical and just kind of went out and tried to make it a race from the get go?
You know, with how Vincent Chiotti was able to win the 5K, he looks like he's in the best shape of his life right now. I don't see, and I understand that
Mm.
he won those by racing tactical, but with how he's been running, I wish that he would have put his foot a little more on the gas. It's would have made things more interesting for sure. But at the same time, a tactical
Yeah,
race is fun too.
yeah, Vincent Chiotti having a great championships this time, coming away with two medals.
Hmm.
Nothing to cry about there.
No
His
doubt.
final mile was sub 4.
Yes, it was. I went back and double
That's
and triple
crazy.
checked just to make sure. It was, I mean, crazy, crazy fast close. And that's why I was saying I wish you would have pressed a little more in the 1500, but you know, can't have it all.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe he was saving a little bit for the 5K, and that
Yeah,
was kind
that's
of
what I
his
was
thought
thinking.
there. Knew he had a 5K. Was Grant Fisher and Woody Kincaid in the 5K and scratched? Like, what happened there?
I know Fisher scratched. I'm not sure about
Oh,
Kincaid, but having Fisher in there would
okay.
have been
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of events here leaving me wanting a little more than what
Hmm.
happened.
Yeah.
It felt like this championships didn't give me kind of the best that it could have had to
Yeah.
offer. Um Before we leave the 1500, gotta acknowledge Nikki Hiltz winning
Uh-huh.
indoor and outdoor
Yep.
1500 United States championships for the past 4 years. So won 8 championships in a row.
Yep.
No shade to Nikki. Hope it can turn into actually putting together a good performance on the world stage
World
because it
stage.
seems
Yep.
like that hasn't happened,
Nope. Nope.
yet. But hopefully that you know, comes to fruition for Nikki there. The 800. Wow. Cooper Lukenhouse absolutely dominating
Yes.
in the final.
Yep.
Finally a 143 guy as
Uh-huh.
a high schooler, kind of crazy. Hobbs Kessler with a second place finish with a 145 looking fine. The big storyline, Donovan Brazier not making it out of the first round.
Which he looked like
So
he
the
had finally been getting it together. And now,
yeah,
you know,
you'd
following what he
think.
used to be, but no, not this time around. It was the Luke House show for sure. But his
Yeah,
final
you cut out a
200 was
little
just,
bit
oh,
there.
sorry about that. I was wondering what was going on. Yeah, but
You're
his
good.
final 200, Luke House's final 200 was just, did you watch it? Oh my
Yep.
goodness. He he was unbelievable. He opened it up so quickly. You know, Kessler tried to make the move with him, but he was not. It was not going to happen.
Yeah, it's funny in the 800 and the 1500, it seems like the two best guys in the world at both events are just these like taller, more muscular, blonde men.
Yep.
What era are we living in? It doesn't feel like that should be. Maybe for the 800, I can see it because you got guys like David Rudisha, who's like a towering like 6'4" guy,
Yeah.
who holds the world record. But it's funny the two best in the middle distance events kind of have the same build. I was thinking
Mhm.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other takeaways from the championships that you want to talk about? Because that's kind of the highlights.
Well, one thing for me, missing out on a couple more people that didn't show up for these races. The 10K, I was wondering where, um, like not wondering where, but I wanted to see Nico Young. I miss seeing Nico Young. You know,
Yeah. Where's Nico
he's
Young?
I haven't kept up with him. As he I hope I'm not missing an injury or something, but he's a 10K guy. He just ran great in the 5K recently, right? I mean, so
Yeah.
wondering where he was, not really sure on that. And then the 800 as well, Brandon Miller. I mean, he's been running amazing. So Brandon Miller not being around is a little
Yeah.
odd.
Pretty unfortunate that we didn't get a Brandon Miller Cooper rematch there. That would have
Hmm.
been nice to see. Cooper currently has the edge, so
Yep,
probably would have
definitely.
came out the same way because
Yeah.
Brandon Miller just ran a USA number 5 time, so
Yep.
I guess he needed a little bit more turnaround.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was like I said. I feel like this track event as a whole was a little underwhelming. Wasn't really too blown away by anything that happened. I thought my personal highlight that I'm taking away is the Noah Lyles 9-7 world lead.
Yep.
And seeing the return of Woody Kincaid was nice as well. I like seeing
Yeah.
the old dog going to go teach the new dogs how to freaking run.
Yeah.
Not saying he's old, but he was old comparatively. Cooper Tier ran pretty well in the 5K. Would love to see him break through and do something as well. Um, yeah, the 15 having a double that was good, but yeah, just I felt like it's just kind of mired by controversy.
Yeah.
Two people having a win, having it getting taken away from him, and them being like two of your bigger events
Yeah.
was pretty disappointing. And then the 5K being won by a guy in Under Armour. I'm sorry, bro, but I'm like, Under Armour? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a shoe guy. I don't know if I can name an Under Armour shoe.
I can't. I've
Yeah,
no. I
so
don't know what he would have been wearing for that, or even trimmed.
but
Nothing.
I guess Under Armour they just put a lot of money into top runners because they have the top women's marathoner and then I guess they have now the top United States 5K guy. So sure. Yeah, what we got looking forward to next week for track is British Commonwealth. We're gonna see Josh Kerr run again, confirmed.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's
I
gonna
mean, I'm
happen. So
so excited for that.
Yeah, who knows what kind of 15 time he can put together there. Obviously, he's going to have two different heats. He's going to have to get through that. So, might not
Yep.
see him go for like a crazy PR, but it'll
Yep.
be fun to see him running British Commonwealth Games. Um, as far as track goes, is there anything else coming up that I'm missing?
Not that I'm aware of. You know, I'm a week to week guy though, so I've been thinking a lot about Josh Kerr. That that's where I'm headed right now.
Yeah, we'll definitely break down that race at for Britain, and if anything else crazy happens at Commonwealth, we'll keep
Yeah.
up with that too. Watched a Josh Kerr interview like while I was on my 2 hour run, and he was talking about the fact that he might run the marathon at some point because they were talking about what's harder, a sub 2 marathon or breaking the world record. And in my opinion, it was breaking the mile world record was a little harder
Yep.
because two guys have broken the sub 2 barrier, but only
Yep.
one has gotten that 342. And
Yep.
he made the point that there's just so much more that can go wrong in the mile, and if something goes wrong in the marathon, you can kind of fix it and make up for it because you got 2 hours to do it. But
Yeah.
if you fall behind in the mile, there's not a lot you can do.
There's no changing it.
But he was teasing that, which doesn't surprise me because he has a great half marathon time. But it was cool to watch him talk about that. Kind of talked about the fact that he went and pitched to Brooks, and they almost like laughed him out of the room when he said he wanted to break the mile world record because he like limped in because he had just pulled up in the indoor championships,
Yep.
and they were like, dude, you can't even like, but you can barely walk right now. What do you mean you want to go for it? And and then they started taking him a little bit more seriously when he got into a little bit more shape, and they put some money together
Mm-hmm.
for marketing and his
Yeah.
materials that he wanted. One of the big things was the shoe that he talked about, and they said over at Brooks HQ that they wanted it to feel like when you were running, they wanted it to feel like you were running downhill,
Yep.
that was kind of their goal. So that was fun. He also went to them, which is cool, and said, "Hey, like, is the density of a shoe made for a like 5 foot woman that weighs 110 pounds the same as a shoe for a 6'3" guy that weighs X pounds? And are those densities the same? Because I don't feel like they should." And so
Yeah.
that's kind of what inspired them to make the specific shoe for him. They added a guardrail on the right foot because he pronates there. So that was interesting to learn. And then also they built the density for his exact weight. So he wasn't like absolutely crushing the shoe.
Yeah.
Um, so it was pretty cool to hear him talk about that. You can listen to that. He talked on Sidious Mag for about 40 minutes, and then had another interview. I forget the guy who did it, but the title is Josh Kerr says he's going to run a marathon. Also a good one too. But speaking of shoes, let's talk about some shoe news. We didn't get to talk about this last week, and I love shoes. I work at Fleet Feet, so I am around shoes, know a lot about shoes. I put people in shoes for a living. If you guys have any questions about shoes, you can always send me a DM on Instagram or put them in the comments below on Track Hack, and I'll respond and kind of give you some shoe advice. But two new shoes that are hitting the market. They're out now. Both of these are actually out now as at the point of this video. Come from Clifton and Topo. Salas, you ever hear of Topo?
I have not. Reading this is the first time I've ever heard of it.
Okay, yeah. Well, Topo to me as a shoe salesman has always been kind of like we have Topos at Fleet Feet, and to me it was always more like a walker. You can wear these to work out because they're shaped very nice. Like they have a nice round toe box, kind of like an
Hmm.
Ultra.
Yeah.
Which is another thing with a kind of an anatomical shape. But they came out with their first carbon plated shoe called the Spectre Elite, and people are loving it. It's
Hmm.
I it doesn't officially launch until August 13th. You can get it in some stores. Some people already have it because this is how shoe releases work. People always get it a little early. The
Yeah.
reviews are great. It's at a cheap $250 price point. Weight is 201 grams. That's a little bit on the heavier side for a carbon
Yeah.
plated race shoe, but it is kind of like a starter carbon plated race shoe. For a person that has a wide foot, they haven't really been able to get a proper fitted carbon plated ratio, or like people with bunions, stuff like that. This would probably be their best option, this and the ultra carbon, but a lot of people are saying that this is already miles ahead of the ultra carbon plated ratio. A
Interesting.
5 millimeter drop, very typical. A supercritical ATPU foam, and a full length carbon plate. So as far as the foam and the plate, it'll kind of feel like a Hoka Cielo. Similar foams there. And like I said, most kind of thing that sets it apart is that it's a very roomy carbon plated ratio.
Hmm.
So a lot of people are saying that that's a great addition. I haven't put my hands on it personally. If it comes to my Fleet Feet store, I'll put it on and give a review. But that is the new Topo Athletic Spectre Elite carbon plated ratio there, and a brand that a lot of people haven't heard about, but maybe this shoe will put them on the map.
Maybe.
Next up, we got the Hoka Clifton Pro. Now, obviously, the Hoka Clifton is one of the most popular
Yep.
shoe lines to ever
Hmm.
come apart. The Hoka Clifton is attributed to coming out with high stack shoes.
Yep.
No brand had done high stack trainers until the Hoka Clifton. This is the Hoka Clifton Pro. Hoka came out with the Hoka Clifton 11, which is barely any different than the 10. Retail advice that I might get fired for saying: if you're thinking about getting the Hoka Clifton 11, just get the 10. It's literally the same shoe. Barely anything has changed at all. They haven't changed the foam. They haven't changed the upper. I'm not sure what they have changed. It's so minuscule that it's not worth you paying $40 more to get the 11. Just get the 10. But I think the reason why they came out with the 11 and it wasn't much different is because they knew they were coming out with this thing called the Clifton Pro. So the Clifton, all Hokas have this rocker geometry on them. That's kind of what sets them apart from other brands. Is they have this strong toe off.
Hmm.
It's an 8 millimeter drop, which is going to be 2 millimeters lower than the Clifton. So something to know there. You'll take a little bit of pressure off of the knees. It's at a $165 price point, so $10 more expensive than the Cliftons are. But what sets it apart is they are using this new foam that is lighter and bouncier. So it's basically their answer to like a Nova Blast or
Okay.
kind of the slower super
Yeah.
trainers. We're not getting into, they have carbon plated like long run trainers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is their non-plated super trainer option. Silas, have you taken a look at this yet?
I have not, and to be honest with you, I might be the least well-versed person in Hokas ever. I
Never put
know a
on a
lot of
Hoka?
people never put on a Hoka, had a lot of teammates who love them. The Cliftons, Stuart Brown
Mm.
loves them. I I've never tried them. I've thought about it, but I've just never gotten into it.
Well, you like Brooks, right?
Yes, yes, I
Well,
do.
that's the thing. People who like Brooks usually don't like Hokas. That's what I found. Is they're pretty opposite of each other.
Mm.
Geometry could not be more dissimilar. So, um, yeah, most people don't like Hokas if they like Brooks. But that's the two new shoes that have come out. We'll try to do a shoe news segment every every episode. So happy to talk about a new carbon plated ratio, an anatomical ratio, and a new super trainer from Hoka.
Mm.
Haven't tried either of these on personally. The Topo is getting great reviews. The Clifton Pro is getting mixed. So if you're thinking about to get the Topos, I'd say order it if you have wide foot or bunions and want a carbon plated ratio. If you want to get the Hoka Clifton Pro, go to a store and try it on.
Yep.
It's already available right now as this podcast comes out. You can try on the Clifton Pro at your local running store. It's out. All right, let's move on to politics. Okay. So some news coming out of DC. Donald Trump plans on replacing a public golf course slash public park with a private golf course just a mile from the White House, taking away one of the only running and bike paths that aren't near cars in the DC area. Me and Silas are both runners and golfers.
Yep.
So we're kind of well positioned to talk about this subject because we like both things. And
Hmm.
my initial reaction, Silas, even if I'm not a runner, is don't why are you taking away the public course?
Yeah,
It's
100%.
it's $28
Yeah,
to go play at that
$28. Yeah.
course.
I mean, that's what more could you ask for? You can play golf for $28. If I hear that, I'm elated. But
Yeah.
taking that away, yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me for I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah, it's a major park, and there is a public golf course, 9 holes
Yep.
on the property. They are turning it into a private course. I don't think it's going to be a Trump course, but he did approve the plans. Obviously, the president has jurisdiction over DC. He was seen in the park looking at blueprints, and when asked about it, said that that construction is going to start in September.
Okay.
People are currently trying to make this not happen, but I mean, you know, it's already starting. So,
Yeah, it's gonna go.
yeah, it's going to happen. So, sad news for the runners and bikers of the DC area. Going to lose a good little running spot there. I
Yeah.
hope there's other spots that they can go. From what I understand, it's kind of like if New York cut out a big chunk of like the West Side Highway,
Yeah.
which would suck. Because that's a public park that we are now turning private. Not good. Never a fan of public
Hmm.
things meant for everyone to now be put behind a paywall.
Yep.
I hope maybe and it's a stretch that if this private golf course gets built, that they at least build a running path around it for people to hopefully use, but it's not going to happen.
No,
It's
it's not
too
going
big of
to.
a metro. It's too big of a metro area for that to happen. So
Yep.
not great news from there. You heard mine and Silas's stance on it. We're not going red or blue on this stance. We're just
Nope.
going, we want to play
Runner,
cheap
golfer.
golf and
Yep.
be able to run.
Yep.
So some people say shrink the game, and that's shrinking the game. So I
Yep.
guess if it's
Sure
worth
is.
it to take away public golf from people and force a 18 holes behind a paywall and take away biking and running spots from people, then I just don't understand you as a
Nope.
person. I'll be
Nope.
honest.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, not great from Donald Trump. Hope he can do something about that. He probably won't. Okay, on a lighter note,
Grab it. Here it is. What we've been waiting for.
Nomio.
Yep.
I took Nomio for the first time last week on my workout. So let's talk about what Nomio is first. I'm going to hold it up for the camera to see it. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, I am holding up a little shot glass bottle that looks like a baby pooped in it. It is green and yellowish and all kinds of things. I'll put it behind me if you guys want to keep an eye on it. So Nomio. Nomio is an endurance boosting sports performance shot made from concentrated broccoli sprout. It
Hmm.
delivers a high dose of isocyanates to reduce blood lactate, lower oxidative stress, and accelerate recovery. Silas, have you heard of this before?
I have, and I think I might have referenced it last episode when I was trying to decide between bicarb and Nomio. And I inevitably landed on bicarb, not for any reason of why I was thinking Nomio was bad. I had just heard a lot of good things about bicarb, so I decided that was the way I was going to go first, and then I was maybe going to try Nomio, but you beat me to it. So,
I'm in the unique position that I haven't tried bicarb yet. I have it
yep,
sitting behind me, but I haven't had anything crazy enough to try bicarb.
yep,
I might be able to this week, and I'll get back to you if I do for sure and give my
hmm,
initial review. But Nomio is much safer,
yep,
much more studied. It's completely natural. It's 60 broccolis and lemon juice squeezed into a bottle. Um, and it's another lactate buffer. So
yes,
it's kind of serving the same purpose as bicarb. I took it I took it 2 hours before I did 5 mile repeats at threshold. So I want to be clear that I didn't use this for a long run. I used this for a workout where I knew my heart rate was going to be in zone 4, zone 5.
Mhm.
Um, and hitting those threshold paces, I would think I was low 6, high 5 for my mile repeats. And yeah, I felt a difference. I
Mhm.
did. I felt I wanna use it again and make sure that it wasn't just because I was doing mile repeats and I was used to doing like 2 miles,
Yeah.
but I felt like amazing. I felt more pop in my legs. I felt like I was able to recover from the reps a lot easier. I was pushing the paces on the treadmill that I didn't hit in mile repeats before, and I felt completely fine. I was wearing the
Mm.
same shoe. Every variable was the same except for the fact that I took Nomio before, and
Yeah.
I did feel a difference, and I also felt like I was more recovered the next day. I'm usually
Yeah.
shot from a Tuesday workout going into a Wednesday medium long run, and I didn't feel that as much this week. So I'll give it an A plus right now, and that it definitely works. You can also take Nomio before bed during heavy training blocks. You can take it multiple times a day. You can take it before your workout, and you can also take it at night for recovery purposes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some athletic benefits scientifically. Lowers blood lactate accumulation by up to 12% during intense exertion. Activates the NRF2 cellular pathway to manage exercise induced inflammation, so oxidative stress support.
Mhm.
Faster recovery helps muscles bounce back quicker between heavy training session and hard efforts. And then mitochondrial signaling amplifies the body's training adaptation signals to support aerobic development. So it causes the mitochondria to be dense, um, and reduces lactate and also helps recovery. So, kind of all the same things that bicarb is doing. I'll be interested to see when I try bicarb. Do I feel like it's doing the same thing, or do I feel like it's helping me more, or serving a different kind of
Yeah.
purpose? I
Differently.
don't. I don't know how in tuned with my body I am to see if it's doing a different thing. I feel like the goal of taking a performance enhancer before a hard workout is to reduce lactate. I don't know
Yeah.
what else I could possibly do. That's legal to do anything else. Um, so yeah, I took a shot 3 hours before, and you can also take it right before bed. I had no GI stress, which I know is a big
Yep. I
question
was
mark
gonna
when it
ask you
comes.
that.
Yeah, no GI stress. Didn't feel did like I get GI stress from hyperlight,
Really?
like taking it because hyperlight is a extremely high carb sodium
Yeah.
mix, and it's probably going to do the same thing to me as bicarb. It's probably like a similar
Sodium.
ratio,
Yeah.
sodium carb ratio to bicarb. And I did have GI stress from hyperlight. I still like it. I just had to use the bathroom and have to get used to it. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Nomio, it took no adjustment.
Good.
Also cheaper than
Mm.
bicarb.
That's another reason I
19
thought about it.
$19 for 4 servings as opposed to $70 for 4 servings.
Certainly
I think
a
Nomio,
reason to use.
yeah, I think Nomio might be the way to go. I know for marathon, bicarb is taken. Um, all the top marathoners do take bicarb. That is a thing that happens in the ultra marathon world. Though people don't take bicarb, they do take Nomio.
Okay. Interesting. Do they use both or just strictly Nomio?
They all use Nomio, some use bicarb. In
Okay.
marathons, everybody uses bicarb
Yeah.
and Nomio.
Well, it's a lot
But you
quicker
see,
too.
yeah, you see more drop off from bicarb when you get into past 26.2.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think so. So I think you got to order it and try it out
Yeah.
and tell me what you think.
I think I'm going to. You're selling me hard right now on it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels like it's completely safe. It's literally
Mhm.
just broccoli. But I don't know, man. Like the broccoli lemon shot worked for me. Like I don't know if it's placebo. Like I said, I'm gonna take it again this week. I have a double threshold on Wednesday because now with my new plans, my workouts are on Wednesday.
There you go.
So I have a double threshold that day, and it'll be beneficial to take Nomio because I do have 2 workouts in one day. Like I think I have a track session and then an uphill treadmill on the same day. So it'll be interesting to see how well I recover and how good I perform with this new training while being on Nomio and while, of course, still doing high carb.
Yeah, percent. I think I'm gonna join you because I've got some. Like I was telling you before, I'm not gonna drop exactly what my workout is yet because I want to talk about it next week. But
Mm,
stuff like that coming up, I think I'm definitely gonna start dabbling in that world. It's gonna be worth it, at least based
yeah.
on what you've shown me.
What are your hopes for the next week of training?
Um, I haven't necessarily felt smooth going fast yet. I had like recently I had like a 12 by 200 hill workout, went about 520 pace, felt good, but it's hills, so you're more thinking, oh, I'm running uphill, not I'm running 520 pace. So we'll see when I'm on the flats, probably on the track, if I feel good doing. I almost said it, but yeah, we'll see. Just hoping to feel smooth running fast, because easy runs, no problem. I can go 720 all day, but dropping down to those, 515, 520 paces, that's where I need to be feeling a little more smooth.
Yeah. Not to feel cheesy, but I just like want to find the joy again
Yeah.
this week. I'm not trying to sound like I freaking hate running and I don't want to do it again. Like I absolutely do. But I'm just like really excited. This is going to be my first time being on a schedule from a coach since our father. So looking forward to that
Yeah.
and just kind of like want to find the joy and enjoy rest days. I'm gonna see my girlfriend for the first time in the city tomorrow, which will be very nice to have her back
Yeah.
with me permanently instead of just going up to visit her. So that'll be fun too. Oh, she's in the chat. What the heck? I didn't even
Oh,
see that.
good.
Hi, Livy. Livy
Hello.
said, "Loving this, loving this." Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Livy. Thank you for listening. Supportive girlfriend, very nice. Um, but yeah, looking forward to seeing her, and it'll be a gift to her that I'm taking rest days now because I
Hmm.
I just feel like I was freaking out this week when I was having to miss a day
Hmm.
because in my mind when I'm like I miss a day, I see that graph go down on Koros that
Yeah.
I'm losing fitness and I'm like freaking out, but like I'm gonna take load off by doing uphill treadmill. I'm gonna do hill strides. I'm gonna do stuff that I should have been doing this whole time. I've just been like scared to take the jump, but like,
Yeah.
why not like do a tried, true, tested, human made marathon training plan that like
Yep.
I'm getting coached by a professional runner for $5. Like it's gonna be freaking awesome, and like I
Yeah,
can't
it's
wait
gonna
to
be
do
great.
that. If any of you guys want to get trained and want to get trained for free, send us a message. I'm offering free training. I'm offering to train people for free at the moment. I'm taking on clients because I'm looking to start a training business, but I need some clients before I, start making people pay for it. So I'd like to get some reps under my belt. So if you're looking to do a couch to 5K, or looking to do a half marathon, heck, even your first marathon, maybe we can figure it out together. Um, Hit me up. Maybe I can help you do it. Also, if you need a nutrition coach, I think that's kind of what I'm best at right now. I'll put you on high carb. I'll tell you the things to do. I think that's what I do best is nutrition.
Yep.
Be a nutrition coach for you. But as well, if you just want to run and if you're in the New York area, I could do it in person. So let me know. Silas, we've been streaming for an hour, and I think that is where we're going to call it. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the start of the stream. But thank you guys so much for listening. It's been a blast. Silas, anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, I think I'm good. Just stay tuned because we're both going to be ramping things up here soon with our training. So if you're more
Yep.
interested on the personal side, things are going to be very interesting coming up for sure.
Yep. Really excited to talk about our updates and training next week. Seems like we both have very exciting weeks of training to come. I'm so stoked to get back to you about my first week of having a actual structured marathon plan. Probably stupid that I didn't do it before, but actually the fact that it starts at 12 weeks means I was probably building up a little too early anyways. But yeah, I have the base to do it, so I'm excited to use the fitness that I already have and put it to good use hopefully and up my threshold because that's definitely what I need to work on is my zone 4 and zone 5 work. Yeah, look out for next week. We'll talk about British Commonwealth. We'll talk about training. We'll do some more shoe news. We'll do some updated Nomio bicarb stuff. Probably talk about some scientific studies because we'll have some time to talk about that next week. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope our audio was better. Hope this will be our first episode on Spotify if the audio is good. I didn't want to upload our first episode because my audio sucked, and I apologize. We are figuring stuff like that out, but we both have better mics on this time, so hopefully it sounds okay. It'll be better when I have my computer with me, which will be in a couple of weeks. But I'm yapping too much. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Peace.